Digiti Minimi.
Upper limb, you can't learn this on a whim. Better put the time into the upper limb. Arm and forearm, wrist and hand. It's a struggle, but you can. Best believe you're locking in to the upper limb. Skeleton comes first, just like every block. The scapula and clavicle make up the top. Match the two C's, clavicle and conoid tubercle, with two ends, sternal and acromial. Now for scapula, one of the big bosses meets the clavicle at the acromion process. Acromion comes from the scapula's spine. Coracoid comes out the front, no lie. The scapula's fossa, better know all three. Matching with the rotator cuff, you'll see. Subscapularis anterior, the other two posterior. Infra and supraspinous, don't forget those words. As we move in, we gon' hit the glenoid cavity, where the head of the humerus has gotta be. Now the funny bone is far from a joke. Get those orientations down or boy you're smoked. The proximal ends got two tubercles, and ooh, right in between you'll find a groove for the tendon of the long head of the biceps brachii. Bicipital groove.
Yeah, nice name. Did they try?
The distal humerus has got a few more characters, but first make sure you know where you are. Anterior should have two fossas, radial and coronoid. Man, the number of C words has got me so annoyed. Capitulum and trochlea are also at the front, where the two next bones articulate. Keep track of which ones, then we'll flip to the back. The third fossa, olecranon. I think we should take a break before moving on. Upper limb, you can't learn this on a whim. Better put the time into the upper limb. Arm and forearm, wrist and hand. It's a struggle, but you can. Best believe you're locking in to the upper limb. Not a whole lot on the ulna and the radius. The fossas on the humerus, they've got processes. Ulna's got olecranon and coronoid, don't forget. And the proximal radius just has a head. Both got styloid processes on the distal part, corresponding to porosities closer to arm. Back down the forearm, down to the wrist, you see the carpals. After that, got your hand bones, metacarpals. Then the phalanges, digits 1 through 5. Numbers go from the radial to ulnar side, proximal, middle, distal. And that's all the bones. So many processes and fossas, just leave me alone. Now for nerves and muscles, they go hand in hand. Learn how they're connected if you want to understand. Know the brachial plexus and you've already won. Got the roots from C5 down to T1. After roots and trunks, then divisions, then chords. 2 anteriorly, then in the back 1 more. 3 total, 1 at a time. We'll start with lateral. Lateral pectorals, first up to the mound. Then musculocutaneous, keeping you in check. Innervates 3 muscles, makes the elbow flex. Moving to the posterior cord. Now, there's more branches here, so no time to slow down. Upper, middle, and lower subscapular. Remember that fossa in the front of the scapula? Subscapularis, that muscle takes upper and lower. And the middle nerve, the rhacodorsals, the other name for that nerve for latissimus dorsi. Next on the posterior cord, got 2 more. I'll start with axillary, that's goid, deltoid, and teres minor, then for radial.
Yo, could we take a break a while?
Upper limb, you can't learn this on a whim. Better put the time into the upper limb. Arm and forearm, wrist and hand. It's a struggle, but you can. Best believe you're locking in to the upper limb. Radial nerves for all the extensors and more. Now it's time for medial, the final cord. Medial pectoral, 2 medial cutaneous. 1 for arm, 1 for forearm. So far not the craziest. Ulnar nerve comes in clutch when you're talking fine motor. Hypothenar plus interossi on the dorsum. 2 more nerves aren't from a single cord. Our first is median. That one sprouts from 2 cords. Lateral and medial join as one. This nerve innervates wrist flexors and some thumb. In the front of the forearm, you'll see cooperation. Median and ulnar both provide innervation for lumbricals and flexor pollicis brevis, plus a deep one, flexor digitorum profundus. One last nerve, that's the long thoracic. Root C5 left subclavian, depending on what side you're on. After you pass the first rib, it's the axillary. Past the teres major, brachial, it's gotta be. Then radial and ulnar move like peas in a pod until they join at the superficial palmar arch. Time for venous drainage, where you get your blood drawn. The medial cubital is where they poke the arm. Then that drains into basilic and cephalic. This has all been superficial, now for deep, let's learn about it. Starting with ulnar and radial veins. Not on the model, but the presence still remains. These go into brachial, you can't see that either. These three, BCB, are all gonna meet here in the axillary. Then that drains into subclavian, up to the brachiocephalic, then SVC again. That's all, folks. Vessels, bones, muscles, and nerves. Finally, time for the study break you deserve. Upper limb, you can't learn this